Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivraj Akacharya Ashto Tarita Srimad Abhay Charan Arvindam Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Kuri Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai ISKCON BBT Sang Slavakacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Shri Maya Purnamati Dham Ki Jai Ganga Maya Jamuna Maya Ki Jai Shrimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Shrimati Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagni Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai Samveda Bhaktivinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Reading from I'll Build You a Temple, the Juhu story by Giriraj Swami. It doesn't matter, the whole world is going to hell. But if Krishna is satisfied, a devotee is prepared to do that. That is called Uttam Bhakti Anukulyena Krishnanu Shilanam Bhakti Uttama. You find it in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Anyavilasita Shunyam. Not to make business with Krishna. I shall be a devotee of Krishna provided my everything is adjusted all right. I shall not be sinful. I shall not do this. I shall not do that. My family will be kept nicely. All these conditions, just like people go to Vrindavan, all the money is distributed. There are many persons, and they make sure their sons and the grandsons are all right, that you send me 200 rupees a month, and all the 2 crores of rupees are for you. This is not for Krishna. And simply for my eating, you send me 200. There are many in Vrindavan. Krishna is also very intelligent. The 2 crores of rupees you earned with hard labor, and that is kept for your children, and you have come here with only empty hands. And for your food, 200 rupees, ye yatamam prapadyante tangstataiva vajami aham. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 11. Prabhupada chuckled. No, the first principle is that one should be prepared to sacrifice everything for Krishna. Everything. It doesn't matter. My fate, my honor, my money, my prestige. He doesn't care. Krishna must be satisfied. Take, for example, Arjuna. Arjuna didn't like to fight, to kill on the other side his brother, his grandfather. No. But when he understood, Krishna wants it. Yes. Karisha Bhachanam Tava. I shall execute your order. Bhagavad Gita 1873. That's all right. This is Krishna consciousness. No consideration for anything else. Simply to satisfy Krishna. Satisfy Krishna or Krishna's representative, same thing. That is bhakti. Anya abhilasita shunyam. Jnana kamadyanavritam. Jnana. It should not be ringed with jnana. This is jnana. Oh, I'm going to speak lie. I'll go to hell. I'm going to kill my grandfather. I'll go to hell. This is called jnana knowledge. But the definition of jnana karmadyanavritam, it should be untouched by jnana and karma. Untouched. Yes. This is pure bhakti. Anyabilasita shunyam jnana karmadyanavritam. The gopis are not jnanis. They're ordinary village girls. What jnana they have? No jnana, no karma. They did not know what is karma, what is sacrifice. They did not know. We should be prepared to sacrifice everything without any consideration of jnana, karma, yoga. No. We have to see whatever Krishna is satisfied. People have no information. Who is Krishna? What to speak of satisfying him? So-called learned scholars have no idea. But a bhakta is always ready to sacrifice everything to satisfy Krishna. Prabhupada was not only instructing us in the principles of pure devotion, he was explaining himself to us, his own mood of being ready to sacrifice everything and anything to satisfy Krishna. As he had told us in Calcutta, his motto was, everything for Krishna, nothing for myself. And so he never complained. But if one has no idea who is Krishna, he continued, then where is bhakti? For the impersonalist, there cannot be any bhakti because they have no information of Krishna. And bhakti means satisfaction of Krishna. If I know the person, if I know his nature, then I can know how to satisfy him. If you have no information of a person, then where's the question of satisfaction? The point here is that Sanatan Goswami, Sakar Malik, was so mad after meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that whatever money he had with the village banker, and even if it was sinful to bribe, he didn't care. He resigned his service as minister. Therefore, he was imprisoned. Now, to get out of prison, he bribed. He was so much ecstatic. This is called lolyam. Lolyam means, just like we, because very much greedy in achieving some success or receiving something, sometimes we become mad. That is required. Lolyam api mulyam ekalam. To achieve Krishna consciousness perfectly, this ecstatic eagerness or greediness to serve Krishna is the only price to achieve success in devotional service. That is the only price. Not money, not anything, not prestige, not good parentage, not beauty, nothing. Simply this ecstatic, intense desire. How I shall get Krishna. Then you'll get Krishna. He will take you. That is the example of the gopis. Intense desire. Tatra yolyam api mulyam ekalam. This ecstatic desire, I, this life, shall get recognition of Krishna, that I have sacrificed everything for Krishna. This is required. What a challenge and what an opportunity. Word spread that Prabhupada was speaking nightly at Seaface Park, and new people started to come. And often when an outsider entered the room, Prabhupada, to the devotees' disappointment, would shift from the nectar of devotion to the Bhagavad Gita. One evening, a respectable Indian gentleman, B.N. Kamdar, walked in. Mr. Kamdar was a leader of the Vishva Hindu Parishad, and he asked Prabhupada why India, which had such a history of Mahatmas and saintly persons, was suffering from so many difficulties. Swamiji, he asked, with so many saints in India, how did we come to this stage? First of all, Prabhupada replied, you don't know who is a saint. This is your difficulty. You say so many saints, but there is no saint at all. You say so many saints. So what is a saint? What is your understanding of a saint? Mr. Kamdar could not answer. If I say, so many rich men, Prabhupada continued, I must know who is a rich man. So first of all, who is a saint? An Indian woman interjected. They claim that they are saints. They claim, Prabhupada replied, everyone can claim, I'm a saint. But you must know who is a saint. Everyone will claim that I'm a rich man, but there must be a standard of who is a rich man. At least we understand that one who has got a nice bungalow, nice car, few servants, nice bank balance, then they can say, yes, he's a rich man. But if I do not know who is a rich man, then what is the use of speaking so many? First, you must know who is a saint. How do you know it? The exact meaning of a saint is sadhu, is it not? Yes, the lady accepted. So in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find who is a sadhu. Krishna explains, Api chet sudaracharo vachite mam ananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he's engaged in devotional service, he's to be considered saintly because he's properly situated in this determination. Who is a Mahatma? Mahatmanas tunam parta dhaivim prakritimashruta vajantyananya manaso gyatva bhutarimaviyam. O son of Prita, those who are deluded, the Mahatmas, those who are not deluded, the Mahatmas, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Chapter 9, text 13. Not that by stamping one becomes Mahatma. First of all, know who is a Mahatma, who is a sadhu. Mahatma, in another place, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sadurlava, 719. This is Mahatma. These are the descriptions of Mahatma. If I say some people are angry, if I say the politician is not a Mahatma, people will become angry. But see the standard definition of Mahatma, Krishna says. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavang mam prapadyante vasudeve sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. You can stamp someone as Mahatma, but as Mahatma sudurlabha, such a great soul is very rare. That is Mahatma. What is his business? Vasudeva sarvamiti. Everything is Krishna, and he surrenders. He is Mahatma, one who is constantly engaged in Krishna's service. He is a sadhu, sadhureva samantavya. So, you must first of all know who's a sadhu, whether he's devoted to Krishna, devoted to God. But these rascals, so-called saints, say that I am God. He's a rascal. He's not a sadhu. He's not a saintly person. He's a demon. We're accepting demons as Mahatmas and sadhus. Therefore, it has fallen down. This is the reason. Many are preaching why you are finding out God. Why are you going to the temple? Gods are loitering in the street, Dhritya Narayan. And you are accepting, oh, such a nice sadhu. But you do not know he's a demon, and you are accepting as a sadhu. This is the cause of fall down. Mahatma sadhu has been described by the Supreme Authority Krishna. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha drida brataha. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, tusyanti cha ramanti cha. They enjoy great satisfaction and transcendental bliss. Their only business is to glorify the Supreme Lord, not cut down the Supreme Lord, kill the Supreme Lord. I become Supreme Lord falsely and cheat the innocent people. We are accepting the cheaters, that here is a God, here is a Mahatma, here is a sadhu. Therefore, it is all fall down. Cheaters, demons, rascals. That is cause of fall down. Mahatma is Mahatmanas tumam partam daivim pakritim ashritaha. He's under the control of Daivi Pakriti, not this material nature, but spiritual nature. And what is the symptom? Bhajantyananya manaso. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. He is the Mahatma. Here we are creating all Mahatmas, not demons, rascals. That is our business. Krishna consciousness. You are importing powdered milk from America. Now you have to import all Mahatmas from America. The devotees and the visitors laughed. It's a fact. Yes, 4 years ago when I first went, I had some correspondence with my friend. So I wrote that now India has finished the milk and so many things they have to import from foreign countries. Now you have to import Brahmins and Mahatmas from foreign countries. I tried to make Mahatmas in this country, but still they are not prepared. They are not prepared. These boys, American, European boys, they are prepared. They carry my orders, as I say. They are habituated to so many bad habits. I said, give it up. And they gave it up. Our Indian boys are not coming. They think, we know Krishna, we know everything. Now let us learn technology. They are not even prepared to become Mahatma. Otherwise, everyone can become Mahatma. How to become Mahatma? Knowledge is there, the system is there, but nobody is interested. Just like 2 young men came here. They saw, oh, what is this Artik? They went away. There is no interest. They will go to cinema to become cinema actor. That is their progress. And the so-called Mahatmas and Sadhus say, yes, you can do whatever you like. Yes, they have no courage to say that you don't do this, then you will lose all customers. Just see, he's Duratma. He wants some money. You do whatever nonsense you like. You simply give me some money, that's all. They are publicly preaching. Yes, you can do anything. Oh, why not sense enjoyment? God has given you the senses. You enjoy. One famous yogi was speaking this way. Why the senses should be controlled. God has given you senses. You must enjoy. This is the philosophy. Vivekananda's philosophy. Yatamat tatapat. Whatever mata, opinion you have got, that's all right. Mahatma Gandhi was approached. Mahatmaji, why don't you ask the Muslims to stop cow killing? No, how can I do that? This is their religion. Prabhupada winced in disgust. Now see, if you are non-violent, if in the name of religion somebody says, it's my religion, how can you allow it? If you want to introduce nonviolence, religion or no religion, you must stop it. Somebody will go on killing. My religion is to cut throat. Yes, you go on? Yes, because it's your religion. What kind of Mahatma? They are advertising. The government is advertising. Nonviolence. And 10,000 or 40,000 cows are being killed. What is this nonviolence? We are so misled. We are accepting these rascals and fools and rogues and demons as sadhus, mahatmas, leaders, and we are all gone to hell. This is the fact. A man asked, so what is the solution to it? How can the average man know that and not be carried away by it? The average man is just led to it. Prabhupada replied, yes, the average man is. Now we are preaching this cult. But why they are not coming? You have kindly come, but maybe tomorrow you may not come. They're not eager to understand. They want to be misled. They want to be cheated. That is their progress. They don't want the truth, because if he wants the truth, then his life will be spoiled. Because of restrictions the Indian lady offered. Yes, Prabhupada agreed. He is living an untruth. The whole world is living on meat eating, drinking, illicit sex, and gambling. And we are restricting. No, you cannot have illicit sex. You cannot have meat eating. You cannot indulge intoxication. So how many people will come? Oh, Swamiji is very conservative, they say. Swamiji is very primitive. We are now advanced. We must eat 3 plates of meat and 2 bottles of wine. That is advance of civilization. What is this nonsense talking? Yes, even some of my students have left. Oh, Swamiji is not allowing even the primary necessities of life. So we cannot make any compromise. We don't make compromise. Therefore, although we are preaching all over the world, our principles are very strict. Generally, you can come and chant Hare Krishna mantra, that's all right. But if you want to become my disciple, then you have to give up all these bad habits. One who agrees, then I accept him as a disciple. If I would say, yes, you can do, God has given you senses, you now go enjoy your senses and chant Hare Krishna, then I would have gotten millions and trillions. I don't allow that, such kind of nonsense. All right, thank you. Prabhupada concluded, Hare Krishna. And the devotees and guests responded, Hare Krishna, Jai. At the end of one class, Prabhupada regretted the fallen condition of the so-called teachers of the Bhagavad Gita and expressed his determination to persevere. People have become so fallen, he lamented. They cannot understand the instructions of Gita, although they are very much proud of reading Bhagavad Gita. What you have understood, then they cannot say anything. We have understood that Krishna means this black spot, you see? This rascal hasn't understood Bhagavad Gita and he's preaching Bhagavad Gita. Just see the fun. So this is going on. And our Krishna consciousness movement is a war declared against all these rascals. We have got many enemies, but we don't care for them. Still, we should go on. Johnny Walker is still going strong. Who knows who's Johnny Walker? You know, I know, you know. You know. Okay, but a lot of people don't know who Johnny Walker is. So there's a state in America that's called Tennessee. And Tennessee, the people that live in the mountains, right? They live in the mountain people, right? So they were very expert at making Scotch whiskey. And because they were making Scotch whiskey and selling this Scotch whiskey, the income tax people would go in the mountains and try to capture them. So they would fight with the income tax people. Then finally they became regularized, paying the tax. The government's interested in tax. What is the value of drinking liquor? Right? It's a bad thing. Ruin your health. Ruin your ability to do work. Right? But still, because the government is getting tax, therefore they're allowing. They're making so much money. So anyway, these Tennessee people, they regularized, and they called their Scotch whiskey Johnny Walker. Right? So he's walking on the bottle, Johnny Walker. All of these illicit activities are going on, but Srila Prabhupada never compromised. Right? The other day I was in the airport and I was waiting in the line for the security check. And one person was there in a wheelchair, and he must have had at least 5 bottles of Johnny Walker. Right? And he's clutching onto the bottles like this. Right? So Srila Prabhupada was very, by people's estimate, very conservative. You know, he's saying no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating. Right? I forget the name of one. There was one lord in London when the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur went there. He asked, I think Prabhupada's godbrother's name was Bon Maharaj. He asked Bon Maharaj, "Can you make me a Brahmin?" And he said, "Yes. All you have to do is no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex life." And that British lord said, "Oh, that's impossible. Impossible." And rightly so, it's impossible. It's definitely impossible to avoid in Kali Yuga all these sinful activities. But the impossible thing becomes possible how? By the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. By Srila Prabhupada's strong desire to have devotees of Krishna from within the heart of persons who don't have any qualification to become a devotee, they become enlightened to serve Krishna. This is the effect of a pure devotee. Simply by his desire. Right? He walked by this property long before he went to America, and he just thought this would be a good place for a temple. Right? He just thought this would be a good place for a temple. And the temple manifested. So many people are coming to see Shri Radha Rasbihari, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Gaurnitai. Well, how is it? By his will, by his desire. Sometimes we think, oh, we're very good managers. See how many people are coming. We're managing very nice. No. We should manage nicely. But result is coming from the desire of Krishna and his pure devotee. They have this unique loving relationship that is so powerful, it spreads everywhere. Right? Srila Prabhupada used to call it the poison books. What is the effect of poison? If you take poison, you'll die. Right? In the same way, if people take these books, their material life will die. So Prabhupada calls them the poison books. The poison books are out there. Srila Prabhupada, you can see by his preaching how potent and how strong he's preaching. No compromise, pure devotional service. That's what he did. That's what he expects us to do. Everything for Krishna and nothing for myself. Sometimes we're thinking, okay, one for Krishna, one for me. One for Krishna, one. Even Stephen. No. And even some people are thinking, one for Krishna, two for me. Everything for Krishna, nothing for me. This was Srila Prabhupada's mood. This is what Srila Prabhupada expected of his followers. Everything for Krishna. I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Only I want to see that Srila Prabhupada is satisfied, Krishna is satisfied. If Srila Prabhupada is satisfied, Krishna will automatically be satisfied. And everything will work very nicely. And if we find in our lives things are not working, things are not according to my plan, right? Maybe that's not Krishna's plan. Maybe that's not Srila Prabhupada's plan. Maybe I have to look, right? We're always ready to try to adjust things according to my plan. But rather we should be looking how to adjust things according to Prabhupada's plan, according to Krishna's plan. Then wonderful results beyond our imagination can happen. So we'll read a little bit more. Taken completely by surprise by Prabhupada's unexpected, seemingly incongruous reference to an advertising slogan by Johnny Walker Scotch Whiskey, born 1820, still going strong, the devotees laughed uproariously. Prabhupada often used his Western disciples as examples to encourage people to take up the practice of Krishna Bhakti. On the last evening at Seaface Park, the Pandal would begin the following day. He appealed to his audience to chant Hare Krishna. There are statements of great personalities, he said, and he quoted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first verse of his Shikshastika. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nivapanam shreya karaiva chandrika vittaranam vidyavadhu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvaranam sarvatmasnapanam param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart and stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune to all living entities. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It gives a cooling effect to everyone, enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Sri Krishna Sankirtan is so nice, Prabhupada explained. Krishna says, Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. 1865. Why don't you always think of Krishna? Where is the loss? If you're walking on the street or going on a bus or in your car, if you chant Hare Krishna mantra, what is your heavy loss? Is there any loss? Why don't you do it? Try it. There's no loss. And if there's any gain, why don't you try it? For nothing without any loss. These European and American boys are chanting Hare Krishna. They are more enlightened so far as material civilization is concerned. But in their country, young men, as a hobby, have taken beads and are chanting. Our George Harrison, the famous Beatle, is supplying beads and bags to his friends. Chant Hare Krishna. And he has written his record that anyone who is a friend of Krishna, I'm his friend. What he has written? Any friend of Krishna is a friend of mine, Guru Kripa replied. We Indians, Prabhupada continued, why you are over gentlemen. They are also gentlemen, the Europeans, but why you are afraid? Why you are ashamed to chant Hare Krishna mantra? Even working, even going, what is the harm? This is the purpose of Hare Krishna mantra movement, that anyone can chant. A child can chant. An old man can chant. A rich man can chant. A poor man can chant. There's no tax, but see the result. Kirtaniya sada hari. Trinadapi sunichena tarurapi sahusnana. Amanena manadena kirtaniya sada hari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who's more tolerant than the tree, who does not accept personal honor, yet is always prepared to give all respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Shikshastakam 3. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order. Always chant Hare Krishna. And the Bhagavad Gita, you'll also find, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridha brataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yuktu pasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me. These great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Anyone who's chanting, he's a Mahatma. So these boys, although they are very young, because they're always chanting, they're Mahatmas. Mahatmanas tamam parta, daivim prakritim ashrita, bhajantya nanya manaso. Krishna says, man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. So this is the process in this age. You can chant. There's no loss, but there's much gain. Why don't you try it? We are always amazed at how one moment Prabhupada could be so involved in the battle for Hare Krishna land, and the next deliver a perfect lecture with no hint of anxiety about the fight. He always continued to provide leadership for the society and respond to devotees' letters, questions, and problems. In reply to a letter from Tusa Krishna asking about pure devotee, he wrote, we advise everyone to address one another as Prabhu. Prabhu means master. So how the master should be disobeyed? Others, they are also pure devotees. All of my disciples are pure devotees. Anyone sincerely serving the spiritual master is a pure devotee. It may be Siddha Sarup, a charismatic devotee who brought Tusta Krishna to Prabhupada and Krishna consciousness, or others, a Siddha Sarup. This must be very clearly stated. It is not only that your Siddha Sarup is a pure devotee and not others. Do not try to make a faction. Siddha Sarup is a good soul, but others should also not be misled. Anyone who surrendered to the spiritual master is a pure devotee. It doesn't matter if Siddha Sarup or non-Siddha Sarup. Among ourselves, one should respect others as Prabhu, masters one another. As soon as we distinguish, here's a pure devotee, here's a non-pure devotee, that means I am a nonsense. Why you only want to be in the spiritual sky with Siddha Sarup? Why not all? If Siddha Sarup can go, why not everyone? Siddha Sarup will go and you will go. Shyamasundar will go. Others will go. We'll have another ISKCON there. Of course, Mr. Nair must stay. So, Srila Prabhupada was saying in this, we'll all be there in the spiritual world. There'll be another ISKCON in the spiritual world, but not Mr. Nair. Mr. Nair was fighting to take away the land in Hare Krishna land. And Srila Prabhupada had a lot of tension because of that. Even the devotees, they weren't so cooperative. We read previously how they had canceled the deed and therefore made our case weaker. Of course, Srila Prabhupada continued the fight with Mr. Nair. The reason why, Prabhupada explained that, our business as devotees, we're not interested in fighting, right? We're not so much interested in fighting. And we could have went away from here, Prabhupada said. Because that's not our business, some fight. He said, but because Radha Rasbihari had come, because Krishna had come, and because it would be an insult if Krishna had to leave this place after us inviting him here, therefore I fought. So see Prabhupada's mentality. On his own account, he's not ready to fight. But on account of Krishna's prestige, on account of Krishna's purpose, therefore he's ready to fight like anything. See the mentality. And we can judge by our own mentality. How much are we dedicated for the purpose of Krishna? Or how much are we dedicated for our own purpose? What I want. What I want out of Krishna consciousness. And then we can judge our advancement. Just like Prabhupada said, you have to know what is a sadhu. Then you can understand who is a sadhu. We have to study the character of Srila Prabhupada. Try and understand. Those devotees that associated with Prabhupada directly could immediately understand that for Prabhupada, everything was Krishna. Everything he did was for Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. And he wouldn't do anything unless it brought pleasure to Krishna. Seeing the example of Srila Prabhupada, we can apply such principles in our own lives. And if we can apply these principles in our life, then we can make advancement towards the goal of becoming devotees of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Are there any comments, questions? Depends upon what you want to focus on. What's your goal? Some people are focused on how to get enough money to buy that Johnny Walker Red. That's their focus. But what is the value of that focus? Yes, we should be focused, but what we should be focused on, we should understand first. And Krishna clearly explains in Bhagavad Gita that you should focus on Him, manmana. Engage your mind in thinking of me. Why the background? Why not the front ground? Like Prabhupada said, you have so much time. You're going to work. You're on your way. Now you can think about so many things. This thing, that thing. Or you can think about Krishna. There's time. You have to get from point A to point B, and in the time, what are you going to think of? So Prabhupada is suggesting you think Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is focus. What should be the focal point? That we should understand, and then we can focus. So what Krishna is telling Bhagavad Gita, what Srila Prabhupada's taught us, you think of Krishna by chanting Krishna's holy name, and everything else will come in its perspective. Whatever you're doing, you'll do it properly, with great attention, by becoming fixed in thinking of Krishna. Is that okay?
हरे कृष्ण माता जी का प्रश्न पूछूं हरे कृष्णा तो एक अभी ये दो प्रश्न हो गए उसके बाद एक खुशखबरी है कोई उठ के मत जाओ बहुत बड़ी खुशखबरी आप लोग बैठे रहिए एक दो प्रश्नों के बाद
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. My question is that you said that we must have intense desire for Krishna Prapti. Then how it is possible for us to practice that intense desire we have? We have desire, but sometimes we have material
What to speak
desires.
of intense desire we don't have. We don't even have a desire to have a desire for bhakti. We have to pray to Krishna to have a desire for bhakti. Because our hearts are filled with so many other desires. So many desires.
Yes.
Unlimited.
Yes.
So somewhere there, deeply buried amongst all those material desires, is a desire for service to Krishna. That we have to find out. And how do you find it out? By service to Guru. That's what Krishna recommends. Tadvini paripantena pariparashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshanaha. You serve my devotee, Krishna says. You ask questions relevant questions, and gradually our desire to serve Krishna will become stronger. Something is there, like a spark. And Srila Prabhupada's expertise was that he would see the spark and fan the spark. So amongst all the other material desires we have, there's something there to serve Krishna that we have to recognize and try to enhance it. And then gradually we'll become callous to the material desires. We'll say, no, I don't want that. Gradually.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण। अब एक आखिरी प्रश्न है यहाँ पे और उसके उपरांत एक खुशखबरी है, सब लोग बैठे रहिए।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said by Prabhupada will unqualified person become a devotee. And also in Shastra it is said that everything depends on supreme will of Krishna. So a devotee will and supreme will is same thing, or Krishna's will and Prabhupada will is same, or
the pure devotee only wills what is the pleasure of Krishna. And Krishna is willing to satisfy his devotee. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is explained that Krishna, he sees the beauty of the gopis and he becomes very pleased. When the gopis see that Krishna becomes pleased, they become more beautiful. And then Krishna becomes even more pleased. So there's this competition between Krishna and his devotees, that who can please each other. Krishna is willing to do anything for his devotees. And the devotees, likewise, they're ready to do anything for the pleasure of Krishna. So, in that loving exchange, so many things happen. And one of the things happen is that just like when the ocean floods, there's a tsunami. And so many places become inundated by that tsunami. In the same way, when there's this loving exchange between Krishna and his devotee, so many other persons get affected. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled in South India, he came to a village. Just by seeing him, the people began to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Hare. And a person from that village who saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go to his village. And because by seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was filled with ecstatic Krishna prema, the people in that village, just by seeing that person, would also begin to chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama. So it's like that. Okay?
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की, हिज ग्रेस भीमा प्रभु की। आप लोग जय तो ऐसा बोल रहे जैसे मैं जानता हूँ आज एकादशी है।